GitHub? You might have heard this word from your friends or from your college or the workplace where you're working, and you must be thinking like, what is GitHub and why this GitHub has become a center of attraction from past 4 to 5 years. I mean, what is this? So in this tutorial series we will be discussing that what is GitHub and how to use GitHub. Okay, so my name is Ajinkya and I am programmer. I love making websites, I love coding, and I love blogging. So okay, enough of my introduction. Now let's discuss about GitHub. Okay, what is the basic definition of GitHub? GitHub is a code sharing platform for collaborators and version control. We can also say that GitHub is a distributed version control system. We will talk about the distributed part later. Now let's focus on version control. What is version control? So whenever you are making a project, you will be making many features in it. So you will be having n number of clients, and suppose you have only 2 clients, and the first client comes and says, okay, this is the project which I have purchased from you and I want to add some another feature in this. So what you will do, you will write certain lines of code in it, and after some days the second person comes and says, okay, I want another feature, and he doesn't want the feature which the client 1 asked for. So what you will do, you will remove the lines of project of the person 1 and you will add the lines of person 2. And don't you think this is a very fragile approach? Because whenever a client demands for something, you add something. Whenever a client doesn't demand for something, or if he wants to remove the previous feature, you will delete the code. This is a very fragile approach and we don't want like this. So this is where GitHub comes into picture, and this is the beauty of GitHub, because you can maintain multiple versions of it. You can maintain version 1.0, 1.1, 1.2. So whenever a client asks that, okay, I want this type of code, you will take that particular version and you will work on that. And whenever another client comes and he says, okay, I want this type of code, okay, then you will take that version and work on that code. Now let's focus on the distributed part. What is distributed version control system? Okay, so whenever you are working on a large project, there is a possibility that many people are working on that project. So John is given a task to complete function X. At the same time, parallelly, you are working on your code. So when John completes his set of code, he will say, okay, I have completed my code. Now you can copy it, your system. And we will take his code and we will say, okay, I want to take this code and I want to copy in this file, and I will copy from this line number to this line number. And then the second person in your group will also copy that code of John in his system. And don't you think doing this every time will be a tedious job? So what if GitHub handles all this for you? The person who completes the code will push it to GitHub, and you don't have to worry that on which file, on which line number I have to copy it. You just have to pull it from GitHub. So all the friends working in that same project can work on it, and the copy of the code is maintained in all of the friends, and the main copy is also maintained at the server, and this is known as the distributed version control system.
Now let's begin with the installation steps. So open your favorite web browser and type for Windows. Click over here and download the file which is suitable for your OS. As my OS is 64-bit system, I will download this setup. And wait until the download is completed. Okay, once the download is completed, you can open it. So once the download is completed, you can just double click over here and just click next. I already installed Git once into my system, so it is asking me, would you like to install to that folder anyway? This will be not the case of yours, so you can just ignore this thing. Just click next, install. Wait until the installation process is completed. Now we have completed installing Git. You can click finish over here. Now if you want to verify that GitHub is actually installed to your system or not, you can just right click over here, and if you see that git bash here, open this, and if you see a screen something like this, that means you have successfully installed Git into your system.
Okay, so when you will start GitHub, you will get something like this. You will not get these because these repositories I have created, you might find it empty. So first we have to click here on new, and it will ask you for repository name, like what kind of project are you making. So this is a tutorial project, so we will term it as tutorial, and description is optional, you can provide it or not. There are two options available. Either you want to make your repository public or you want to make it private. So if you make your repository public, anyone can see in your web. Okay, so there are certain repositories which I have created which are public. I will show you in incognito window. Okay, so whenever you will write a GitHub Vim. So this is a public repository, so anyone can open it. But there is another repository, MongoWeb. I have this repository, but no one can open it except me. So I will show you that I can open it. This is the place where I have opened my repository because I have already logged in. So you might have got the concept that what is public and what is private. And there are again three options available, that initialize this repository with add a readme file. We will get into this later. Add a git ignore file. We will do this manually, and choose a license. You can just ignore this right now. We will get into this later. And now just click on create repository. Okay, once you see this, you will see that they are teaching you some commands, that how to initialize a repository, how to add in this, how to commit it. We will see everything over here. So what now you have to do is that you have to copy this and you have to paste it in your terminal and just add git clone at very beginning. So this word clone might be something new to you. Clone is nothing but copying the directory that the repository contains. And what is a repository, now you will ask? So repository is something that is kind of a directory which has images, files and everything in a folder, and that is located in a server. We term it as repository in GitHub terms. So now all the files that are in the server will be copied into your local system. So for that we use the word clone. So when we write git clone github.com/your username/ your repository name, so all the files in that repository will be copied in your system. So when we hit enter, it will say cloning into tutorial, and right now we have not created any files in it, and thus it is saying that warning, you appear to have cloned an empty repository.
Now I have to make one thing clear for Windows users, that when you press git clone and then you try to paste the link using Ctrl+Shift+V, it doesn't get pasted. So how you have to paste is use the right click option and click the paste option and then hit enter. Oh, now you are seeing that protocol HTTPS is not supported. So when you pasted the link, so something like this happened. It entered certain characters over here because you pressed Ctrl+Shift+V. So what we have to do is write git clone, and we do not have to press Ctrl+Shift+V, and we directly have to paste the link and then hit enter. And now you can see that it is cloning into tutorial. And you can also see that a tutorial folder is created over here.
Okay, now let me show you that there are no files in this repository. So ls, you can see that, go into tutorial, and ls, that there are no files inside it. Now we will create a first file over here. Now let's write touch. So the person who are not using Linux, I tell you that the touch command is used to create a file, and we talked that we will create a readme file manually. So readme file is a file when someone sees your project, he will first read the readme file. Okay, so I have to do these things in my project. I will show you a repository. Okay, see, this is a Realtrek RTL 8821CE driver. So this is the readme.md file. So here they have shown that how to install the driver, how to install the driver on Ubuntu or Debian, or how to install the driver on Arch Linux. So this is the readme file which tells what your project is about and how to use it. So we will create a readme file and we will edit it. So we can just make a tutorial on how to make a readme file, but now we will just get into the basic concept that how to create a readme file. That when you create a hash, so this is the main heading. Whenever you write hash, this is the main heading. Repo is abbreviated form, or you can say the short form of repository, and you can also write some italic text in like this, and you can also write bold like. Okay, so now you have created a file and you can see that there is a file readme.md. So now whenever you have to check the status of GitHub, you can just write git status. So it is saying that on branch master. So whenever you create a repository, the main branch is the branch master, which is automatically created by GitHub. So it shows that you have not created any commits yet. Oh, so what is commit? We will get into this later. So this is saying that there is an untracked file readme.md, that we have created the file readme.md, but we have not pushed it to GitHub. So what we should do, that we should tell GitHub, okay, so GitHub, you should add a file, and what is the name of the file? That is readme.md. So it will say, okay, I will add this file. Okay. So we have added the file, and now we can again check the status of GitHub. We have to write get status. It says that on branch master, there are no commits yet, but the changes has been committed. We have added the file readme.md, but the commit has not been created. So whenever you say that you have added the file, that means it has just been added, but it has not been added to the repository. So you have to again write a command named git commit. So git commit -m. So whenever you write commit, there are multiple commits you create on the repository. Like whenever you are adding certain amount of feature, you commit things, and whenever you add another feature, you commit again, or whenever you delete some features, you will again write commit. And we write the -m field, -m for message, so that you can identify that what you have done over here. So we can write that we have created a project and we have created a readme file.
Now, some users might get error, something like this, which shows that please tell me who you are. So now you have to tell GitHub that what is the username for GitHub. So now you have to write git. Okay, you should replace your email address in this double quotes. I have written my email over here, rajini26@gmail.com. And you should now try to commit.
Now we can again check git status, and it shows nothing to commit. The works tree is absolutely clean. So whatever job we have to do, we have done the job. But when we will go over here and we will refresh the page, we will see, oh, we got nothing, but we just committed. What happened? So we have committed the file and we have added the file in our local system, but we have not pushed it to the server. So we have to write again one line, that is git push. And now it will ask for the username, because no one other can push the code. And if someone else edits your code, and the code you have written will be perfectly vanished. So, okay, git push done. What do you think? Will the code now be pushed to GitHub? Okay, let's see. Okay. I'm going over here and I see, okay, I have created this. I have created a readme file, and the readme file is created automatically over here. And this says that this is my repo, this is italic, and this is bold. Okay, I have just shown you the demo that how to push into GitHub. So this is not the only file which will be having in your project, not the only readme file. You will be having multiple files in your project. So let's create some files. Right. So we can write anything in those things like this. Okay, so we have learned 3 commands. First we have to git add, then we have to make git commit, and then we have to make git push. So if we want to add these three files, what we will do, we will write git add a.txt. Oh, we have created 4 files, so we have to write every file like git add a.txt, git add b.txt. But what if there is a situation where they are having multiple files, like hundreds or thousands of files? So what will you do? You are not going to write each and every file again and again and again. You are not going to write again and again this git add file name, git add file name. So what we can do is write -A. What this will do, it will add all the files that you have added over here. So when you write git add -A and then check git status, it shows that you have added all the files git a.txt, b.txt, c.txt and d.txt. And then you write git commit message and then git push. Okay, so then we will refresh over here and it shows that we have created a.txt, b.txt, c.txt and d.txt. So this is what you see over here is created readme files, and here you will see that added 4 more files. This is the commit message that you have provided. So the commit message which we have provided will be written over here, and all the file names will be uploaded over here, and the time when you created the commit, this commit was created 6 minutes ago. So it will write created readme files here, and these files were added 16 seconds ago. So this we will write over here. Okay, we have learned how to push the code into the repository. So now there are certain times when we are having certain private files in our system and we don't want to push them into the repository. So what we can do, that we can create a git ignore files which will ignore those files that you have written in that files. Now let's see how to do that. Just create a file .git ignore and write the name of the file which we have to ignore. Suppose we are writing the file that we will create a file private.txt and we want to ignore this file. So when we will create a file private.txt file, and we will create again a file which is e.txt. So now when you will do git add -A and when you check the git status, it shows that it have not added the file private.txt because we have added in git ignore that we do not want the file private.txt, but it has staged into the commit that .git ignore and e.txt will be pushed into the repository. So git commit -m, and when we git push, you can see that the private.txt file is not pushed over here, but when we see over here, we can see that private.txt does exist in our local system but not in the server. Okay, so we have learned the basics of GitHub, and you can see that GitHub is a very powerful tool and it is one of the most easiest tool that can be handled by programmers. And now we will see that what is this option, the master option. I told you that the main branch which is created is the master branch, which is created automatically by GitHub. We will get into all of this into our later series, into our intermediate course, because this was just for the beginners, that how to create a repository and how to push into that. We will get into these issues because if your code have any issues, other people can say that this is the issue. We will see about the pull request, it has certain settings, and we will get all into this later. You can see the fork command, which others can fork your repository and they can place it in their account. We will learn about all these things in our later videos. Till then, bye bye, have a safe day.